You feel like they just want to throw a match and
especially
burn
when
that
they are
bridge
nice
down.
to you.
Put your feelings aside, get that wild side to try. I'm not that girl.
You asked, I'm bringing it candid AF with Sharon H. You fire the questions and I'm going to shoot it straight back at you from my own unapologetic candid perception. Let's get this show on the road. Here's how it rolls. You've got a question, ask me right here in the comments or DM me on Instagram. Send me a voice message, a type message, a video message.
Hey Sharon.
Don't be sending me no phallics or messed up shit or I'll be cutting you off. I'll be answering some of your questions that are in line with my video topics: self-development, personal growth. Send them in and I may just answer one of yours in one of my videos. Before we start, I've got a special shout out from my friend Paula. Paula is going through a really tough time right now. Sending you much love, my gorgeous girl. If you could all take a moment to, in the comments, put strength for Paula with a purple heart. Today's question relates to how to deal with family members that ignore you. Being shunned by family, estrangement. Hit the like button for me right now if you've ever been through this. Please remember that all advice given is from my own viewpoint and perception, and what I feel is right for me may not be right for you, and ultimately you've got to do what's right for you. Today's question is a video message from KRIS of Sun-Kissed KRIS.
Hi Sharon, it is Krissie from Sun-Kissed KRIS.
Hi KRIS, thank you for sending in your question. I'm going to be breaking down KRIS's question throughout the video and answering from my own perception throughout.
How can we better deal with family members who ignore us?
Families and relationships are a tough one, and let me tell you, I'm no stranger to strained interpersonal relationships myself. I think it's fair to say this is not uncommon for there to be divides and individual breakdowns in families and the dynamics within. Sometimes it only takes one person with an axe to grind that can set a domino effect of spite and venom into motion that can then cause the whole family foundation to collapse.
And we're kind of in the dark because we don't know what we've done. I've offered up apologies to hear nothing in return.
It's one thing to fall out with people if we've screwed up, but if we've tried to make amends and it's fallen on deaf ears, especially if we have no bloody idea what we've even supposed to have done, or we know what's being said we've done, and we know it's being twisted and turned to suit, in which case I let them grind that bloody axe on their own. I won't waste my time with them. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding and other times people change, turn cold, and we've no idea why. And when this is the case, it does our fucking head in. When there's no rhyme or reason why they seem so put out by what we've supposedly done or haven't done.
So yeah, how would you deal with a relative that kind of gives you the cold shoulder?
I personally find it so petty when grown-ass adults ignore each other, and regardless of indifferences, always believe the one that reaches out to speak, the bigger person of the two. When you've reached out to apologize and there's been nothing in return, perhaps because there's nothing you should be apologizing for. Now I want you to step back and ask yourself, say the tables were reversed, and let's just say for shits and giggles, you did do something wrong. You did something that upset said family member. Can't be too bad, right? One, you can't even remember what you're supposed to have done. And two, if it were that bad, I'm sure it would have come back to you through other family members. Because news travels damn fast, along with Chinese whispers in family politics. Now the question I want you to ask yourself again, say you did do something. If the situation were reversed and you stopped talking to said family member, would that person be fretting over the loss of you? Do you think you would be as unforgiving of them if they hurt you and offered up apologies, even if they didn't know what they were apologizing for? What would you tell a friend if they came to you in a similar situation? Now I could be way off the mark, and I'm hazarding a guess that you might say, bugger 'em, stop chasing after them, right? I mean, no disrespect to your family, my family, or anyone else's family with that statement. Life is too damn short for you or anybody else to carry someone else's burdens. You are obviously hurting and putting your happiness on hold, worrying about someone that sadly does not seem to be worrying about you. I remember my mother once said to me when I was emotionally struggling to get over a fallout with a loved one, pull yourself together, you'll be dead in the ground with stress, and they will be happily living their life, not giving a shit. And sadly, this is so true. We spend so much of our lives fretting over people that seemingly don't give a rat's ass about us. Because if they do, they sure have a funny way of bloody showing it. We cannot allow ourselves to become victim to our heartache. So much so that we miss out on living our own lives fully. When we are given the cold shoulder, especially in front of other family members or friends, it's so easy to momentarily feel embarrassed or small. But I have no doubt in my mind that to other family members or friends looking in, that it is not we that look the small one. So often we can be guilted by their behaviour, but them openly shunning us is not only shitty behaviour, it's callous and immature. Unless we've done the unthinkable, which is often unlikely. Most fallouts take two to tango, even if the other side won't admit their part in it. All you can really do is keep being polite and holding your head high. But if it were me, I would definitely not keep putting myself out for somebody who's going to try to make me feel like an ass or refuses to meet me halfway. Maybe not try so hard to always be the one to hold out the olive branch. I know it hurts, but taking a step back does not mean that you no longer love them. It just means that you love yourself enough to know that you will be okay without them. Knowing this and embracing this notion can be so bloody freeing. You are just as worthy of love, kindness and compassion as they are. And even if you did do something that caused a rift, how much time has gone by? I don't know about you, but the older I get, I realise life's too bloody short to hold grudges. I've had family fallouts, but they're still my blood. I still love them, and I'd wish no ill upon them ever. The life is too bloody short to remain stagnant, waiting for said family members to see the error in their ways or forgive the errors in ours. Of course you miss them and the relationship you once had and would love to spend time with them. Perhaps there was an outside influence that has been in their ear. Perhaps they themselves are harbouring a guilty conscience, or the environments they roam has seen them personally grow and change since you last saw them. And they simply feel a disconnect and do not know how to reconnect.
Because it's easy to just let it slide and forget about it if it's a stranger.
That's it. We all have fallouts with friends, and it's a whole different ball game than it is with family. Because with ex-friends, the same emotions and ties are just not involved. Unless a really close friend, the bonds and dynamic are completely different with family. You share a history that no one else can understand or relate to. While some friends you couldn't be more closer to if they were your own blood, but for most, it's not like this. Any relationship breakdown for the most part hurts, but when it's a family member, it's like grieving for somebody not dead. We can spend hours, days, weeks, months, years trying to comprehend where it all went to shit. Because family is supposed to love you unconditionally, right? But when this love's withheld or withdrawn completely, this can really mess with our head. We all need time to grieve with that loss in our own way, because no loss comes devoid of pain, and we shouldn't have to, in our lifetime, potentially grieve someone twice. When you are the one that's tried to reach out and mend bridges to no avail, and when you feel like they just want to throw a match and burn that bridge down, I think it's time for you to realise it's time for you to go to bed at night with a clear conscience. One day this person may need you and you yourself may no longer be around. And one day this person may have to confront the guilt over rejecting your love, not treating you how they themselves would like to be treated. We all make mistakes, but few are not mendable.
But if it hits close to home and you go to family get-togethers, it can be so awkward, especially when they are nice to you in front of all the other family members, but then you don't hear a word from them throughout the rest of the year. So if you have any advice I'd really appreciate it.
So said family member plays nice in front of others, then ignores you privately, whilst you were spared being shunned in front of others and left feeling a first-rate tool. Whilst on some level I know it hurts, it must also infuriate you that you know that the politeness is all show for others. Is it possible this person is envious of you for some reason, and you are shunned because you are everything they feel they are not? Enviousness can often play a hand in the breakdown of family dynamics. Just seeing you invoke feelings of them not feeling good enough, because this is not something most would openly tell you. And they most certainly do not want to lose face in front of others, hence the open politeness and falsities. I would personally prefer them to be openly nice to me than openly hostile. Whilst yes, it can be infuriatingly fake, it does not leave the rest of the room feeling uncomfortable and wondering what the bloody hell is going on. And you put in a position to openly have to belittle yourself to defend your honor. Sometimes when we've tried to no avail, I think we simply need to give as good as we get. Stop being the one to reach out. Stop being the one to make the first move. Let them come to you. Perhaps you backing away from them will make them realize how they have made you feel for all these years. Perhaps they take it for granted that you will always be the one to reach out, to keep running. Ask yourself, do you have it in you to keep holding your hand out to have it rejected? Ask yourself, is it really worth putting yourself through this heartache time and again, only to be shunned? You feel you've done everything you can to show remorse if you've done anything wrong, and again they choose to privately not speak to you. Perhaps it's time to stop concerning yourself with how you've made them feel and realize the way they're making you feel is no way to live. You do not have to keep feeling lesser so anyone can feel more. Only you know what's right for you, whether to keep trying or stop and leave it to the universe. Whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. They are not prepared to let go of whatever grudge they are holding, to reach back and take your hand. Then their inaction may just be a sign to let it go. Perhaps it's time to just respect whatever their grievance is and set focus on enjoying every moment of your precious life. Surround yourself with those that make you feel happy and loved, and happily take a hold of your hand when you reach out to them. When families break down, we do not have to stop loving them, but we have to stop wasting emotions on those whom seemingly take our love for granted. If they are unprepared to acknowledge us, let alone reciprocate that love back to us, then this is an unfair dynamic. Love is a gift and should not be repelled when given so freely. Whilst I cannot clarify more, you first and foremost have to do what's right for you. Take in what you want of my advice and let the rest slide right off of you. If it were me, I would let them know you love them and let them know you will always be there should they need you. Make sure they know exactly how and where to reach you. I would light a beautiful candle. Close your eyes, breathe in love for yourself, breathe out peace for them. Remind yourself you are worthy, you are loved, and you love yourself and them enough to let them go in peace.
And I gleaned so much from your channel. I absolutely adore you. I download all your videos.
Thank you so much, Kris. Sending much love your way. Be sure to jump on over and check out Krissies' channel, Sun Kissed Kris. Join Kris as she travels through Florida and beyond on a multitude of adventures. And by Kris's own words, it's not just a cliche, laughter is the best medicine. If you want to support a fun-filled channel with a genuine, beautiful human, then be sure to sub Krissies' channel. So I know you stuck with me all the way till the end. Leave the words "I am worthy" in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you don't want to miss any of my personal growth, self-development videos, then be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my next one. And you'd be really helping my channel if you gave it a share too. So grateful to those of you who already have. If you want to see more, my playlist is linked below. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Out of your shell, meet me halfway.